Hi everybody, this is TJ at Cotton Frolic. We're here again for another tutorial from Carol, and so I'm going to turn it over to her right now.
Hi everybody, we're going to show how to do the 3 blocks for the little quilt Morning Meadow. I like the colors in this, as you can imagine, and I've been working on Christmas quilts all week. It's been a weird week for all of us here in the States anyway, and I've been burying myself in quilting and licking my wounds and
A little quilt therapy.
yeah, just a little bit. 3 quilts were required, but I'm feeling better. So we're gonna do these 3 blocks. It's number 1 and number 13 and number 15.
Yay!
Yay! I've done these in lots of different colors. And, you know, they really lend themselves to red, white, and blue. And I don't know if you took a picture of the little black and white one, but I think that would be cool, made out with a lot of blocks.
Mm-hmm.
And all of them. So, okay, this is number 1. This is easy. It's easy, except that it has a couple of kind of diagonals, and you just have to remember to cut material big enough to cover the whole diagonal, which is second nature after you've done a couple of these, but for your first few it can be a little confusing.
So lining up the first 2 pieces on the seam between 1 and 2.
Oh, come press her foot down. Yep. Let's go, sewing machine. This is all set for Brazos. He came over the other day and taught me a little bit about quilting. Honestly,
he knows everything.
I know. He showed up with Mom, and then she had some work to do, so he stayed with me for a while, and we've been talking about him learning to quilt. He's only 7, and I learned to sew really young too, but I sewed on a treadle, and these computerized machines go really fast, especially if it's hard for you to reach the pedal, which he is able to do now. But he came in and I told him to go over to my fabric cabinet and pick out some colors that he liked, and he picked out a gob of fabric I found. I found myself going,
wait a minute.
Hold up.
That's a little much.
I know. He took pretty much a piece of every color, and then he decided to sew them together in strips. Said he wanted to do something easy the first time. And when I tried to show him that you put the pieces together, you know, face together, he said, no, I'm not going to do that. I said, what do you mean you're not going to do that? And I tried to explain to him why you do that. So after you sew them, you fold, you know, you press the seam on the back and open up the fabrics, and then you can see both the right sides of fabric. And he's like, I think that's the only one we're going to have, and we love him so much. You know, we've all heard grandparents talk about their grandkids forever and a day, but I never really, let me do this again, talking and not thinking. Okay, I need to cover this little point. It's a piece of cake. This is why I save all the little scraps. This is obviously just a little scrap here. I'm going to put it on the end. You can't see. I'm not holding it up to the light for you to see well enough, but I can see through it. Sew our point on. You just want to make sure as you put pieces on that when they fold over, they're going to cover to, well, however far you need them to go. Sometimes you just need to go to the next number of piece, and sometimes you need to go all the way off the edge and make the seam allowance too. So in this case, that's what I'm doing. And you tear it back. Don't ask me where my Kai scissors are, okay? I'm not happy.
Uh-oh.
I can't find them. I've laid them down somewhere.
I swear I didn't use them.
Well, I know. It's just you and me in the house, so I don't have that worry. I know you have lived under the threat of persecution for a long time. Yeah, if you had touched my scissors. We went to the quilt show last week in Houston. It's just mind-bending. And I looked at all the Kai scissors, but I have that one pair, and it looks like you never have to sharpen them out. Here, let me get it to the light. There we go.
Okay.
Putting on number 5, and then making sure it extends out over both ends. This is one of those diagonals where you cut an extra length of material, which isn't a problem with paper piecing because you can always use those scraps if you cut off a little bit too much. I looked at all the Kai scissors while I was there and didn't buy another pair. I just thought I didn't need to get another pair, but I've learned my lesson already the hard way. Never fails. But they're around here somewhere. If not, Kai's going to be hearing from me by the end of the day. You can't live without him now.
Yeah.
I have a lot of things I can't live without. Leanne Morgan, the comedian. I watched her for a little last night, and she made me laugh, and I really haven't had much to laugh about lately. I love her. Everything is yummy. If she likes something, she says, "Isn't that yummy?" And it rarely has anything to do with the actual taste of anything. It has to do with babies and clothes and yummy. Never heard anybody use that word quite the way she does. If you don't know who I'm talking about one of the funniest comedians I have ever seen. Her name is Leanne Morgan, and she has a show that's on Netflix. It's been up there for a year or more. But I bet I've watched it 4 times, and it's just as funny every time. I laugh like a loon every time I watch her. Yep, there's the other. I cut threads as I go. I know a lot of people don't, but I end up with an absolute bird's nest on the back if I don't. So I cut all the threads as I go just so they don't all get caught in the next row of
Try to
stitching.
avoid that mess.
Yeah. Well, you know, you can't see them. They're going to end up on the inside of the quilt. Look at these scissors. I'm going to wear my thumb out before the end of the day.
Yep. Okay, where are you?
Those people must think we're crazy.
Probably.
Okay, so here's the first one. Shall I try to trim it? You think
Yes,
I
try
dare?
to trim it.
We'll see.
I'll bring my chainsaw down and we'll get it trimmed up.
Look, they won't cut. Who has used these scissors on something wretched? They're so cute too, but
They have been used for cutting who knows what.
I know I'm sawing away here trying to cut this.
Booba, 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 booba.
You know, I'm married to a chef, so I'm used to sharp knives and all of that. I never have to sharpen a knife around here. They're all just razor sharp. But he doesn't do my scissors. Okay, there's the first one.
There's the first block. Yay.
I thought I'd do Christmas colors. I'm making Christmas quilts for my 2 daughters and my grandson, and which they don't know about, but they will now. And they're just little quilts that I'm making them for the holiday. But they all like crazy colors, so I'm not really making Christmas colored quilts. I'm making quilts in every other color. I asked Shane what her favorite color was, and she said, well, I have 2, hot pink and purple. So she has no idea. So I told her the 70s called, they want their colors back.
Yeah, right. What is going on there?
Yeah, I know. But anyway, I'm making her a pink and purple, and pink and purple and black are her favorite colors. So I'm on board with the black. I love black, even for Christmas. I love the color, or lack of color, or all colors. What
Black
is it?
goes with everything.
Is black all colors or the lack of color? I can't remember.
It's all colors. White is no colors.
Is that it?
I think so.
It's funny. I thought it was the other way around because I remember hearing about it and thinking that was counterintuitive. I never would have figured that out. But I'm probably wrong. Okay. Oops. I'm trying to go fast so this doesn't take a half hour to show. But I don't know how to do it any other way except to show every step. There's really no way to Well, I guess we could skip over and just show a little bit of each one, but
I think it's best to show them everything.
to show the whole thing. Okay. Well, I'm glad you think so. Hang on.
These are really good tutorials where you can be quilting along with us.
I know, I love that people tell me that. So we went to the quilt show and it was incredible. If you haven't been, you need to put it on your bucket list. It's you hear voices from all over the world, especially Scottish and Irish. I heard a lot of Scottish and Irish people. I love that accent, so I think I'm really tuned into it. And lots of Japanese quilters. They're incredible quilters and ice sculptors.
Yep.
But there are close to 1,000 vendors there. So this year, for the first time, we spent 2 days there. I know a lot of people that go and spend 4 days, but I haven't taken any of the courses or anything. And I've lived here all these years, but I've never gone to take a class. I don't know why. Probably because by the time I look, they're almost all full. But we went down for 1 day to look at all the things the vendors had, which is such a joyful thing. And then the next day we went to look at all the quilts and got to see a lot more of the quilts. We usually go to the vendors and then go to look at the quilts, and we're tired by the end of the day. And so we'll see about half of them, and then we find ourselves heading home because we're old. But, yeah. Okay, these little diagonals, these are the ones that can get you. This one, because you can see where it ends there, it's just a little over 1/4 of an inch, and so this one you don't have to worry about so much. But the next one is, this is such a simple little block. It only has, 7 pieces. But this is one that can get you. It's tricked me more than once. Let me show you why. When I made, real quilts that weren't paper pieced, you cut out every piece, and so you know exactly how much material you're using. For these, you have to estimate, and when you do it in miniature, it's not such a big deal because you're not wasting what you cut off. You'll find another quilt to use it in. So I don't worry about it very much. But if I sew one and it's too short, then I'm unhappy about it. So see, this has to go all the way from here to this outer edge. So a lot of times I'll take a piece of material and lay it over there just to make sure, and that I have enough, like 1/8 of an inch for a seam allowance. And you can see I didn't leave a whole lot of material on. Oh, what am I doing? That's the wrong one. I'm sorry. I'm doing number 7 instead of number 5. Sorry. This is the way. I knew it was more complicated than that. Oh my God. I need a nap. Okay, this is the one. We have to go all the way from here off the edge. I don't know what I was thinking over there. And it's an odd one too, because you've got to make sure you cover this part all the way over to here. So you've got 2 angles you need to, or 2 edges you need to think about. So you need to pull your material down as far as you can, and it covers all the way over to here, and you're on the line, and you're leaving yourself as much material as possible, so you get all the way to the edge.
And that's so you can attach then the next piece
Yes.
to that, so you don't end up with too short of a...
Yes. Well, it comes all the way to a point here, so you have to
Yeah.
make sure it comes all the way to this outer edge.
Yeah.
We'll see if I achieved it or not. Who knows, I may have cut that to go with number 7 and not number 5, because I'm consistent in my inaccuracies. That must be why I do paper piecing. Because it's easier. It's kind of like paint by number. And I know that quilt makers for a long time were talking about it, or I heard quilt makers talk about this being cheating. It's cheating.
Oh my God.
You know, I felt that way about machine quilting way back when I was in my 30s and I was striving for 11 stitches to an inch. But as I got older and as the kids grew and life became more complicated, I'm still not a good machine quilter, but I certainly understand the reasoning. And I have a handy quilter now, so I can sit and quilt and not have to do it by hand, which would take me years now. Okay, so now we're going to do number 6. Number 5, as you can see, went all the way to the edge here, just to make that point. And then number 6. This is the same thing, but not quite as complicated as the other one. It just goes all the way across. So we lay the material on there. I don't know why. It feels like my tension's too tight or something, because it keeps tightening up on me. Come on. I need to get a little ironing pad here. And you need to film me from the other side or something, because it looks crazy, this little washcloth here that I keep ironing on. Okay. Almost done. One more to go. So I've been sewing 60 blocks at a time for the Christmas quilts I'm working on. And it takes a long time to do 60 quilts.
60 blocks?
60 blocks.
You're just chain stitching them, you mean?
Yeah, and chain stitching them. And I realized last night that I had chain stitched for such a long time that they had fallen on the floor in front of my machine.
Oh my gosh.
And my 2 little
dogs.
Can you imagine? The King Charles Cavaliers.
Dog hair.
My little dogs.
Oh
Now, I didn't find any dog hair on them. They weren't on there that long. But I went and got the lint roller thinking I'd made a mess of those little blocks. So they couldn't have been on there for long, but they just look so happy sleeping on those little quilt blocks.
Those blocks you're working on for the Christmas quilt are little Christmas tree blocks, right?
Yeah.
And that's the one we're going to do a free...
If we can figure out how.
Yeah, I figured it out.
You did?
Yep.
Oh, well, are you going to make an announcement?
Not right this
Not
second,
right now.
but if you watch us, stay tuned. We're on TikTok, we'll be making an announcement.
Well, we have to do it soon. It's a Christmas block.
Yeah, well...
It's paper piece, so it doesn't take long to make,
No.
unless, of course, you're doing 60 blocks at a time,
That's
like
right.
me, making 3 quilts all at once in different colors. But yeah, every designer has made a Christmas tree. And I have one of, I don't know how many Christmas quilts I've made, a lot.
Yeah.
But it'd be fun to share it and let everybody have
Yeah,
one.
but we'll have the free PDF.
You figured out a way for them to download a free PDF?
Yep.
You're amazing.
Actually, it wasn't hard.
It would be for me, pal.
Well, we have to make it and put it up and all, but...
Well, we'll do that
Yeah.
this week.
But if you'll go to our Etsy shop, Etsy/shop/Cotton Frolic, you'll see all the patterns, and soon there'll be a free PDF for the Christmas quilt.
You can put a free one
Christmas.
up on Etsy? They'll let you do that?
Yep.
Wow. Well, that's great news.
It is great news.
I didn't want to ask everybody for their email addresses. I'd be suspicious about that, so I didn't know
No,
how
but
we
if
could do
you'll follow us here on YouTube, and if you'll follow us on Cotton Frolic, or on TikTok, I'm confused myself here. Then you'll be able to see when the announcement comes up that it'll be up.
that. Okay, we're going to do that within the next 7 days, right? Let's make ourselves a deadline.
Oh, you said it.
Okay. We find that now that we're retired, deadlines are our friend.
Yes, they are. Otherwise, nothing gets done.
I have found that threats are not bad either. Like, I am not doing this again until you do that. Oh my God, these scissors are killing me. Okay, there's number 2.
Okay.
I'm just using all the...
Number 1 and number
Christmas
2. They're
colors.
together.
Okay.
All right, and on to number 3.
Yeah. This next one I like, and when you see the quilt, the little quilts over here, you'll see why. You can make a whole bunch of these and make a whole quilt, all of this one little block.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it with all of them, but I like
Yeah,
this
but
one
you
a
can
lot.
mix and match them up.
Okay, number 1. This has 13 pieces. So
Oh
it's
my
gonna take me
gosh.
a minute.
How are we ever going to get this done?
No. I like it though. It's just a little fan. These things all look like water lilies to me. This one is going to be for Christmas, so it's not going to be water lily colors. But I really love to do these in pastel and make this little diagonal on the bottom look like water with my batiks. I got a really nice comment today about that's really simple little block that I put up last week. That looks like this, but it has more water and sky than this does.
The block 118.
Yeah, that's right.
And that pattern is up on Etsy. And the tutorial's up in our YouTube page.
We thought we'd put up some individual blocks in case you're just starting out and you want to try it and you don't want to buy a whole pattern, or you want to make a quilt with all the same pattern. So we put up a couple of little ones, and I've got another one here that I'm about to do. Actually, I was going to do it the other day, and I was just so sleepy. I don't know why. Got tired, and I haven't done that one yet, but I'll do that this week too. I'm used to making this part of it blue, like blue sky behind the flower. These are working great, but they don't work so great for a long run. They're just little snips.
Little snips.
I'm doing the best I can with my
whiz.
ruined scissors. I don't know what happened to these.
Somebody's been cutting cardboard with them, probably.
Not it's something worse than cardboard.
Oh, jeez.
Tires. I don't know. I always think of roofing because I caught you one time cutting a piece of roofing with my I mean, what was that, 40 years ago? You don't even remember, do you?
No, I don't. Guess that was a red letter day in your little
You
life.
have selective memory.
Yeah.
I think it was right after you spray painted our blue car white. It was pretty much somewhere in there.
Yeah.
I'll tell them that story someday.
That's not needed.
Over the years, that's not news. Oh God. When Jay and I met, he was a chef, and I had a couple of roofing companies. So Jay had a lot of French knives, and I had all the tools. And over the years, we've kind of done a role reverse, although I've never, ever learned to cook. I married a chef for good reason. But we have had some adventures trying to build things, and we've learned the hard way, haven't we?
Yep. Experience is a good teacher.
Yeah, we've never spray painted anything again. We kind of figured out that was outside of our pay grade. Jay was going to spray paint the front of our little historic house in New Jersey once, and it was a light, almost, buttercream color. And his little blue car that he had just bought was sitting there on the street in front, and it was a windy day. And I said, Jay, you're going to get paint all over your car. You need to not do it today. And he was just so sure that it was the perfect day to do it. And he did. And he drove a blue speckled car for a couple of years after that. There's nobody here to laugh about it, and you're not amused, are you?
Not very.
That poor car. He also cut a limb out of a tree, and I said, move your car. The white speckled car. I said, you remember the paint incident? How could he forget? The car was still speckled. Really, really speckled. And I said, don't cut that tree limb. It's heavy, and it's going to hit your car. And he said, how is this tree limb going to hit that car 15 feet over there? And I said, well, I have a feeling it's going to come down on the smaller branches, and heaven only knows which way it'll fall, so we need to get that car out of the way. And he didn't listen.
Nope.
And he broke the windshield out of his car and crushed the hood. I don't remember what happened with that. I remember getting the windshield fixed, but did we drive around in that car forever with a crushed hood?
I don't think so. I don't really remember. I have blanked it out. Thank you very much.
More of that selective memory.
Yep.
I love you anyway. It's okay.
Yeah.
We've made bigger mistakes than that.
Yeah.
We never hurt anybody but ourselves, do we? We never have dropped a tree on the neighbor's house or anything like
No, none of that.
that. We've had a lot of fun in life.
Yes, we have.
We went through all that
Still
together.
working on it too.
Yes,
so.
we are. Six, 7.
6 and 7 here.
No, this is just number 7 I'm doing. I
Okay.
just finished 6. Come on, sewing machine. Help me out. I have to move to my other Janome and fix this one. Janome machines. We love these machines, don't we?
They're good machines.
We got to look at all the sewing machines at the quilt show, and the M17 is still their flagship sewing machine, and it was fun. We got to watch them demonstrating, and again, we don't know how to run ours at all. We've had it for a year. And James, Jay's brother, knows how to embroider on it, but we haven't even touched it yet. And so we watched them do the demo at the show, and the guy turned around and he said, "You two look like you're really interested in this machine." And we're like, "We already have one." But we didn't tell him we don't know how to use it. I think he just dismissed us right away too. It's like, okay, you've already got one. We are done here. He'd accomplished his mission. That was the guy from Conroe Sewing back where we got the sewing machine. He's
Very
a good
nice
guy.
people up there.
Yeah, they are.
Very helpful.
We bought the floor model that they had at the show. The machine was just about half price because we took the floor model, and we had to wait a week or so until they got back from the show, and then we drove down to Conroe, which is a little over 2 hours from here, to pick up our machine. And we got there, and they service it, and they go through the whole thing and make sure all the bits and pieces are there, and you're getting a great machine with just a few hours worth of work on it. And we got there, and the guy said, "Oh, you're here to get your machine," and he said, "I've got news for you." And he told us that they had overestimated how many machines they had, or somebody hadn't written a sale down, and so they had to give us a brand new machine. It was
just terrible.
Yeah, I'm sure they weren't happy about it, but they were very nice about it.
They were very nice. But we took your car, the Hyundai.
Oh yeah,
and
the car I used to have.
Yeah, it's a smaller car, SUV type, but the back opens up and all that kind of stuff. And the guy goes, "Is this gonna fit in there?" And I was like, "Well, what do you mean?" And it had like these 3 huge boxes.
Yeah, it was like, it looked like a washing machine, or a dishwasher. That's what it looked like. It looked like a dishwasher box, the first part that came out. The other 2 were a little bit smaller, but somehow they fit in there by about a quarter of an inch. And
he came out and helped us get it loaded up in there and everything.
It was crazy, though. It's so much more than just a sewing machine. We were stunned when we saw how much there was to it.
Robotics with a computer.
And it has so many hoops and things.
Yeah.
That James is blissfully playing with, and the 2 of us keep watching him longingly.
Yep, going, "Oh, look what a good job he's doing there."
Well, I bought it. Well, I didn't buy it. You bought it. What am I saying? You bought it because he was showing us how you could make quilt designs, and you could make it as small as you want, all the way down to a single block. And my little quilts, when they're finished, are the size of about a single block that most people think of. And so I thought, well, I could design an overall quilt design for my little blocks, and that machine could do it for me. And it will. That's what he was demonstrating at the show, actually, was quilting with it.
Yeah.
And I watched in rapt attention. But that's why we got it, so we could quilt with it. But then we bought the handy quilter.
Yep.
I can't justify having both of them. I'd love to have classes here, or a group of women that came over and played with me. we have this big barn and all this space.
Yep. Well, maybe we can get some folks out there to come and have a quilting class with you.
We live in Georgetown, Texas, just north of
Georgetown,
Austin.
Texas.
Or just come play. I think that'd be fun.
Ladies' night.
Ladies' night. There are a lot more men quilting now. I was amazed at how many men were at the quilt show. It was the 50th year this year, and I've been to almost every one. And it's amazing to see all the men that are not sitting in the chairs along the back row. For years, the men all would just retreat to the back, and they set up a lot of chairs. I think they even used to have TVs so they could watch a game or something. But now there are a lot of men, even men in groups, just men. Really weird. But a lot more interest in quilting among men. I'm happy about that. I don't like that saying, it's not your grandma's quilt, because it seems like a slam on traditional quilts and all the women that came before us that...
Grandma deserves respect.
Yes, I know. But I love contemporary quilts, modern quilts, and I love color, as you can see. But I think that was the image that people had of quilts for a long time, that they were just utilitarian and had to go on your bed. And that's definitely not what's happening now. We don't have a quilt on any of our beds, but I have 150 quilts or so. But they're little. Almost done. Two more. I've got a hanging piece here. I'll have to go back and make all the little blocks to go with this now, because I like these colors. I'm seeing a lot of people buy Christmas balls for the trees now. We're all into Christmas early this year, it seems. And they're really dark green. I think they're going to disappear on the tree. But I like this Grinch color of green with red.
Grinch green?
Yeah, Grinch green. That's what Brazos calls it.
Yeah.
And he loves the Grinch, of course.
Of course.
It's funny, the Grinch doesn't seem to be a bad guy anymore.
He's, yeah.
I mean, in the story, he's
very weaselly.
Yeah, and he finally sees the light.
Yeah, he finally sees the light. He gets it in the end.
But Brazos doesn't hold that against him, that he stole all the presents and all that. He's like, he did the right thing in the end.
He got better.
He got better.
Yeah.
Okay, one more little piece and then we're done. Did you get pictures of all the little colorways so they can see?
I did.
I have some blocks. I'm going to be putting some blocks up online for sale. I see that the next big thing is decorating your jeans. We've all gone through the quilt jackets now, and I see that people are starting to decorate their jeans with quilts, or pieces of quilts or quilt blocks. And I was thinking these little quilts would be good
perfect
for sewing down a seam of your jeans.
And putting on a back pocket or something, or
I have a lot of people that just cannot believe, no matter how many times I show it, that they could actually sew these little blocks, but they want to make little quilts. So I have people that want to buy the blocks. So I'm going to be making some of the more popular blocks and some of the more complex ones that people really are just sure they cannot do, but they can. and putting them on Etsy. So if you're interested in little blocks, I'll have some of those up there soon too. And I promise I'm making kits. Kits are not easy to put together, especially to make them look professionally done, since it's just me doing them. I don't have that workforce that Tula Pink has. I wish I did.
Well, I help.
You do help. I can't even keep track of my scissors, for heaven's sake. But I'm making some patterns. Some kits with some of the things and colorways that I know people like.
So those will be up in the Etsy shop sometime
Yeah,
soon.
one of these days.
One of these days.
Sorry.
Don't rush me.
Well, I'm
Don't
working on the borders
rush
too.
me.
I have I'm focused, but I have about 20
Borders
different
would be
things.
awesome on some jeans or on a jacket.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. I'm
You-
ready. I have jeans. I immediately saw
you
myself
needed
in
to
some of
put
those
some-
jeans.
One of those borders on your cuffs of your jacket.
Oh yeah. I made some. I just didn't get them on there in time.
Yep. And here's the other colorways here again.
So this little quilt will be up. It's called Morning Meadow. The quilt pattern will be up on Etsy.
Okay, well,
Yay.
this was a lot of fun.
Thanks.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.